What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Dear African Americans. Today, I want to talk about maybe you should stop focusing on capital cities for your repatriation. That's right, I'm saying something very, very controversial. Because for me, and many African Americans, when we want to come to Africa, usually we are settled around the Dar es Salaams, the Nairobis or Mombasas, the Accra Ghanas, Lagos, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Kampala, Uganda, Monrovia, Liberia, Dakar, Senegal. We want to be in the bigger cities. And one of the reasons why we want to be in the bigger cities is because we are usually from bigger cities. It resonates with us. It might not be exactly what it is back home. You know, I'm from Sacramento, California. I'm also an LA guy. You know, I spent a lot of time in Los Angeles. You know, Johannesburg reminds me of Los Angeles. Nairobi reminds me of Los Angeles. So when we want to come into Africa, we want to be in metropolitan places because that's where all the stuff is at. Big shopping malls, healthcare facilities, nice fancy suburbs, beautiful neighborhoods, nice luxury restaurants, lounges, things that remind us back home. And when we want to start a business, we want to also target these places because, you know, Nairobi is a very busy business district, you know, center. So is Johannesburg. So is Kampala, Uganda. But I want to talk about this because recently I went to Mbale, Uganda and met up with my good friend, Dr. Daniel over at Farm Up, right? I consider him a really, really nice guy, good buddy of mine. And we forged somewhat of a associate friendship now. He's a very, 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 very knowledgeable guy. And he actually went to Makerere Medical School and spent most of his life in Kampala, Uganda. And when he decided that he wanted to go into the poultry business, he decided that he would do it here in Kampala. But he found out he didn't have the money to buy land to start poultry farming in Kampala, which led him to Mbale, Uganda, which is in the eastern part. But he noticed something as he went to Mbale, that he was making more money, more profit in Mbale, Uganda, than he would in Kampala. And why is that? Well, the reason is in Kampala, Uganda, there is more competition. Many people are in the city, right? And I believe he said the tray of eggs is 7,000 shillings, which is a little less than $2. But in Mbale, it's 10,000 shillings, and the conversion will show that's almost $2.80. He is getting more money in Mbale because the competition is not so fierce. And that led me to talk about this with brothers and sisters in the diaspora. Many of us are trying to come to the bigger cities in Gambia, the bigger cities in Ghana, and Lagos, Nigeria, and maybe it's too much competition for us there. You know, the markets are too busy there. But have we tried some of the second or third tier cities? Like for me, if I'm looking at Uganda, I did come to Kampala because my business is a little bit different. But I've not stopped thinking about, what about Mukono? You know, what about Seda? You know, what about the Entebes of the world? What about the Mbales of the world? The Kabalis, the Bararas. Hey, if I'm in agribusiness, these are places I want to be. You know, Dr. Daniel told me that, hey, you know what? If you were doing poultry business, the north of Uganda is a great place that you might want to do it. Why? There are not many poultry farmers in the north, and there's a demand in the north. And for me as an entrepreneur, I always want to service the markets that I can earn, all right? Even in my content spaces with Kinganda, I spent so much money getting into the Ugandan space, producing local content, you know, collaborating with the DJ Nasellos of the world, DJ Alicia of the world. The reason why I do that is because it's niche specific, right? It's hard to replicate that. A person just can't replicate that, right? And I want to be able to be very specific in what I do so that it's hard for people to compete. Well, if you go to the north of Uganda, I can assure you, you are doing something that nobody wants to do typically. You go to Mbale, Uganda, you're doing something that nobody wants to do. And a lot of times about business, it's about location. For example, one of my good buddies is Martin from PC Gamers Hub. He's built about 5 PCs for us. I would say within the last 60 days, we have spent over $500 with him. All right. He services all of our computers, and he is a vital asset to our business. He has the only gaming PC place in Kampala, Uganda, in the country. And I asked him, we passed by Mukono on our way to Mbale, and I asked him on a phone call, I said, how do you think this gaming PC situation would work in Mukono, where there's Ugandan Christian University? He said, bro, if I could do that and put it in that place, it would do very well. There's nothing like what I have there. I'm pretty sure it would do very well. Again, it's about location. So I think what black people should do, don't always be so caught up on the main cities. Look at what you can do in the cities that are tertiary or maybe outside. You might have a population of maybe you have like 50,000 people, 60,000 people, but what you want to do, you might be the only game in town. That will give you a lot of leverage, right? And it might be able to give you more opportunity and might be able to give you more business collaboration. And you might be able to do so much opportunity in Mbale. I was there, I really enjoyed myself. I stayed there for a night and I walked around the city. I really enjoyed myself. I was looking like, wow, there's a lot of things that a person can set up here. A lot of collaborations a person can set up here that you probably can't do in Kampala. So I want the Repatriate not to be so stuck on the bigger cities, but look at also the outside cities. Look at what you can do in the agribusiness sector, the finance sector, the real estate sector, right? Maybe you want to do something in the entertainment sectors in these places, because there's just not a lot of people there. And there is people there that can pay for the service. There's people there that can do these things. And so I think that you open up the doors if you look at all this stuff. Like, look at Nigeria. Nigeria has so many huge places. Outside of Lagos, and Abuja, you have Abidan, right? You have other places in the north. You have so many places that you can do stuff in. You have many places in Ghana. There's Kumasi. There's other places you can do things in. In Liberia, there's other places. There's a lot of different places that brothers and sisters just don't know about because nobody's talking about them. Everybody's looking at, for example, Tanzania. What are people looking at? Dar es Salaam. But what about Arusha? What about Dodoma? Dodoma is gonna be blowing up real soon, right? And I know that because Dodoma is the capital city. And shout out to Dr. Harnett. She did a really, 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 really strong episode on her YouTube channel talking about Dodoma, Tanzania. And people going to Dodoma right now are going to be able to grow with the market. It's not just being in Dar es Salaam. Dar es Salaam is a beautiful city. I've been there. But maybe Dar es Salaam is not the opportunity for you. The opportunity might be Dodoma. The opportunity might be Arusha. If you're in Kenya, the opportunity might be Nakuru, right? It might be Kisumu. We don't know. So look at some of the other cities, study those, see if your personality meshes a little bit better with that, and then see if you can have an impact in smaller places. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back with another episode of Dear African Americans. I really appreciate you guys for all that you do. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell. And as you know, keep it real. Kangana forever. We out.